Hey y'all, I'm Alec with Sharing the Journey. And if any of y'all have been watching mine and my wife's channel for a while, then you'll know that we work camp our way across the country, one job at a time. And what's important for us is to be able to get from one job to the next job as efficiently as possible. Now, we don't have a lot of money. That's why we have to work from place to place. And so in order to save money, is we try to boondock in parking lots as we travel the country to save on our camping fees. What we normally do is we boondock for 2 nights and then we go to a campground for the night to dump our tanks, to recharge ourselves, to open up the camper, and to have a good time. But when we're boondocking in a parking lot, which is a privilege that is given to us by the people that own this private property. And they do that to give nomads a place to rest, but to enhance their business. So as you can see tonight, we are at a Cracker Barrel and we are glad to be here. My wife called them on the phone as she's looking for our night stay and asked if they allowed boondocking in the parking lot, and they said they do. If you don't know what boondocking is, here's a couple fellow campers here. You park in their parking space. This place, most Cracker Barrels have designated RV spots. We are larger than the RV spot. So when my wife had the manager on the phone, she said, hey, do you mind if we park on the curb behind the store because our camper is bigger than your spots are? They said, that's fine. Anywhere in the back is fine. Most our patrons don't use it. It's just for RVs, campers, and our employees. So we got permission. Now, what's got me riled up tonight is that we had to call 2 Walmarts and 3 Cracker Barrels before we could find a place to stay. The reason we had to do that is people are abusing the privilege. Now, there are unwritten rules, and I'm not going to go through all of them, but you are not camping when you're boondocking in a private parking lot, okay? Our slides are closed. We are in a designated area that we were told to be in. You can see that our awning's not out. We don't have chairs out. We're not cooking in the parking lot, okay? We are respecting the business. We are respecting this private property. And in turn, they allow us to stay for free. We went in and had dinner. Cost $38 for my wife and I to have dinner, which is cheaper than a camp spot somewhere. And we would have had to eat anyway. So instead of paying $50 for a camp spot somewhere and eating, we just ate. Now, so while we were inside talking to the people here at the Cracker Barrel, I told them how I couldn't believe how hard it's gotten for us. We've been on a 3,200-mile trip from job to job. We're going to Montana to spend a wonderful summer in the park and in the mountains in one of the prettiest places on earth. But we're having a hard time getting there because people abuse the privilege. And let me give you an example. Not everybody knows what you're supposed to do when you boondock. So a lot of people get on YouTube and there's hundreds of videos about what to do. And then you run into SARASOTA. And from what I have seen, now I have not watched his videos. I've watched the parody videos like Darling, Miss Vicky, Blind Views, Kevin 247, a couple of these other people who then show clips of SARASOTA because I refuse to watch his channel. It gets me too frustrated. But recently, they've been showing videos of him dumping his gray tank in a parking lot. That's a huge violation of that property owner. Now, when we were coming up here, we got gas at 2 Flying J's today. Guess what? Both of them have dumps for gray water and black water. Okay, $10 I believe it costs to dump. We were coming through a rest area. Some of the rest areas have free dumping. Free dumping. Do not dump your wastewater, and especially your black water, in a parking lot. That's disgusting. There's been videos of him opening all his slides, putting his awning out, setting out furniture, and cooking. These are all no-nos. We're here to rest, to get off the road, and then to move on down the road the next morning. This is not a vacation spot. They don't provide this for us to have a good time and play and vacation. This is a spot where we stop to get rest from our driving so we can get to our end location, be it a vacation, be it work like we have to do. Now, what disappoints me the most is because of this, I'll call it Tim-like behavior. The people in Cracker Barrel told me that come October 2024, that there is talk about closing down overnight stays in all the Cracker Barrels across the country. They'll still have the RV lanes in the older ones, so we can come off the road and eat. But now we're gonna have to start paying or going to Walmarts. There's municipalities, towns, providences that are now making it illegal for you to boondock in these parking lots because people are taking advantage of the situation and abusing the privilege. So I ask you, don't be like Sarasota Tim. Don't dump your gray tanks. Don't open your awnings. Don't open your slides. If you do have to open your bedroom slide, park it over the grass so it's not hindering the flow of traffic. Be kind, be courteous, but do not continue to abuse the privilege that we have. People like my wife and I, who we rely on the hospitalities of these private businesses to give us a place to rest as we're traveling from job to job. Thank you. Safe camping out there. Y'all have a good night.